Hey, hey, what's good? What's going on, everybody? So, I'm coming in here today to talk about money, honey, because that's what we all want more of. And you gotta understand there's a very basic and simple principle behind why a lot of entrepreneurs do not make money in their business. And so, we're gonna have a candid conversation, as we always do, because I don't know how to bring it up any other way. And in helping you all understand that, I'm going to allow you all to be privy to a little bit about me, probably more information that some of you deserve to know, considering that this video it's live on YouTube as well, but it's okay. So when it comes to the entrepreneurial thing, many people will tell you that, you're not making money in your business because you haven't hired help. But I just got through talking to a woman a day ago that I'll be starting coaching sessions with on Friday, who was talking about, like, oh my God, I can't do everything. It's just too much. But she's in a financial crunch where she doesn't have the money to allocate it towards paying for a team. And many of you know that I talk about being a team of one, not because I'm anti team, but because I want women to see what is possible financially, professionally, as you're going and growing. Because you got to be very careful about what you're putting your mouth on. If you're saying that your business can't expand or you can't get there because of all of those reasons, as long as those reasons persist, then you still can't make money. And so I've never believed that. Please understand. Let me just also insert this in because I'm going to get to this money part. I'm like going to get to some literal data and tell you some very simple techniques that you can use to help you keep your stuff together, that's going to impact you keeping up with your money and also being a good steward so that the universe will allow you to make more money. But I've got to get this point out here first and make sure that I help you all, because if you keep saying what you can't do and how you can't be a one woman show when many of us do have to do that, you're going to keep damning, speaking death over your business. And so everything is about mindset. I understand you became an entrepreneur so that you can have more freedom. But in order for you to have more freedom, you have to start where you are. So for instance, with me, starting where I'm at means that I can't hire any help. And that means that I may be working hours like I did when I had a traditional job. Maybe when I worked a job, I took an hour and a half to 2 hours between dropping the kids off and getting to work and then working for 8 hours. And then I had that same amount of time with picking them up and getting back home. That's anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of my day that is gone. So sitting down at my desk and working my business, whether that's because I'm reaching out, doing connection calls, responding to people on my list, doing things on social media, what I'm doing right now, which is definitely helping and fueling my business, because somebody may listen to this video and say, see, that is why I need her to be my coach. And if they don't have their money together, they're going to get their money together in order for them to be able to work with me. So why can't I sit here and work for 8 hours when I was willing to do that for somebody else? So that's it. And I'm going to, stay off of that soapbox so that we can get to more of the money. So organization is key. And what happens with a lot of you guys is you start investing in these systems and softwares, and it may be a little bit confusing to you. And it's something that you shouldn't implement. Like, people will tell you that Quicken Books and they've got the Intuit version that's supposed to be easy for entrepreneurs, that it'll plug in the money for you. Some people say, create your own word spreadsheets. Some people tell you to buy other type of accounting software. But at the end of the day, in the beginning, even if you take it back to good old paper, the point is that you just need to be organized. So I'm allowing you guys to see a behind the scenes look of what some of the things are that I'm doing in my business to be accountable for my money. So I have a summit that's coming up called the Business Mastery Summit. And wrapped up in that are affiliates. I have several women that are promoting the event. They get a 30% kickback for every ticket that is sold. I always believe in giving back. And so with every summit, I've always had an organization that I've sponsored currently and for until God says stop. It is my Sisters Keepers of Atlanta. So what happens with many of us is it's very easy, especially in a time like now when a lot of people are in a frenzy to get money, to get too excited and see that money and get it and spend it and not have the money to pay their affiliates. I know a lot of affiliates who do not get paid on time or do not get paid at all, and then they don't want to sign up to be affiliates anymore. And I've never had that issue with my affiliate, whether their payout has been in the tens and tweens or it's been in the hundreds of dollars. They've always gotten paid on time, if not early. But anyway, so what are some of the things that I do? Well, I do have a spreadsheet, and it's a spreadsheet that I created the calculations for and need to pay. But I'm looking at each affiliate. I see the number of tickets they've sold. I have the line for the what their commission payout is. What is the value that of their total ticket sales, just to see what that looks like, period. And then the balance that's left over once that commission comes out. So I've got their number of tickets sold, what that commission should be, and what that total amount of sales was, so I can see what's left over. The reason why I have that line there that says what's left over is because my organization gets 10% of my net. Okay, 10% of my net. So, number one, before I can even tell my affiliates, this is a mistake that I did make the first time around. I just said, oh, 50, my tickets are $27. I do not get $27. These processing these processors, they charge a fee. I get $25.92 per ticket. So 30% of that is $7.78. So for every ticket that's sold, I really only make $18.14. But because I am giving 10% to I Am My Sister's Keepers of Atlanta, then $1.81 goes to them, which means that for every ticket sold by an affiliate, I get $16.32, 33 cents. Now, the tickets that I sell, those tickets, there is no affiliate commission taken out of it. So that means that for every $25.92 ticket, 10% of that is $2.60 that goes to I Am My Sister's Keeper of Atlanta. So that commission payout will be zero, but that balance is the full amount. And then what they get paid out is 10% of whatever that is. Now, here's where things can get really confusing. Based on me just getting the notifications, one of the things that I do, you guys are getting a lot of juice in this video. I mean, too much. This is almost damn near a coaching session. I do a lot of things to ignite, encourage, and motivate my speakers to promote. And so one of the things that I do is I celebrate the affiliates. I'm celebrating the affiliates that are getting sales. That may or may not cause a little competitive edge for some people to get more sales. It may let them make them feel better because somebody's actually responding. And a lot of them don't necessarily always check the software. Some of them may check it like a hawk. How many people clicking the link? Have I got a sale yet? But nevertheless, inside of a private community with the speakers, I'm like, yay, look at who's got a sale. Well, one of my affiliates has quite a few sales, at least so I thought. I make a habit of every so many days looking at my balances and my totals and continue to add to it. So it was looking like, based on the number of notifications I got via email, one of these speakers got a lot of sales. But in actuality, what happened is whoever was trying to buy a ticket, they tried it 3 times, and it wasn't an issue with the payment link. There was obviously an issue with their bank account because it kept coming back with the balance. They weren't getting put through because they were never paying. And so the other thing is that in Infusionsoft, that's the software that I use, because it's really tied into the like traditional accounting system for businesses that do accounts payable and accounts receivable. Even if you haven't received that money, it's saying that money is in the total. Now, the vast majority of the people that are paying me are selecting to go through PayPal, even though they're going through my Infusionsoft link. But Infusionsoft is keeping a record of everybody. And some of the people that are paying are just going through the Infusionsoft processor. So what's ending up happening is if I don't pay attention to my records, so let's say I'm at $1,000 in sales and tickets, I have $1,000 of sales in Infusionsoft, but maybe only $800 of those sales went through PayPal. And if I were to print my spreadsheets just based off of the summit ticket sales alone, let's say there's nothing else in there, no coaching, live event, or anything, then I might think that I brought in $1,800. And I've seen people, you've seen people that call companies like, what's going on? Why my bill ain't right? And it's like, no, slow down. This is old. This is prorated. This is new. This is double, whatever. And so, number one, I have to make sure that I understand the accounting systems that I'm using, the credit card processors that I'm using, so that I can make an account for my money that way. The other thing is I got to make sure that these numbers are adding up, because at the end of the day, integrated or not, you always want to check technology. But in my system, when I was putting my numbers in, my system may say that I have 32 tickets, but why is Infusionsoft saying that I have more? Because it's steadily tagging somebody for a ticket without catching that it's a duplicate, because somebody tried more than one time to pay and use a different email every time they pay, when in all actuality it's not. So then that means that the time has to go. I have to take the time to go back in and to make sure that that invoice is taken out, because it should not impact my total balance. So little bitty things like this are important. And guess what? When I do hire someone to take on these things, I'm not just going to want them to say to me, yeah, this how much money you made. This what it is. That's your balance. That's why so many people get issues with not having enough money left over to pay their taxes. That's why people can skim off of their money, because they don't know and they don't understand their own money themselves. So when I go back and I make corrections, then I'm able to see, here's something else. For instance, now I've had two scenarios. I had one woman recently reach out and say, I want to purchase a ticket for someone else. Well, since they didn't know who that person was going to be. And rather than and at that moment, I just sent them a PayPal.me link. So on this little sheet of paper, I got it marked down that I got a bonus ticket. Now, somebody else did a bonus ticket. I noticed that someone bought two. I immediately went to them and welcomed them and said, I noticed that you bought two. So I'm assuming that that was not a clerical error. You're sponsoring someone else. I need their name and email to manually add them to the list. Because even though that person bought two tickets, there's only one tag. And so that wouldn't happen to be a sale that was on me. But if that was for somebody else, then they wouldn't be getting recognized for two affiliate ticket sales. So all of this stuff is important for me to be able to have integrity and make sure that everybody gets exactly what they deserve. So simple things as well. When you got thousands and thousands of people, what I'm doing right now, that looks completely different. But I have a list, because you guys got to think about this. I'm sorry. I'm not Marie Folio, and I'm not going to have 50 people sign up in one day. But see, this is about stewardship. This is about putting it in the atmosphere. So if I'm averaging anywhere from 1 up to 5, sales on any given day, what I do is I keep making my list. And I'm constantly, because I'm managing the social media platform, welcoming people over there. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I've got this many people, and I keep checking off people when they join the group. But I got like 50% of the people that have bought tickets that haven't joined that group. And so rather than get myself slammed when it's closer to the summit, I message those people privately and say, hey, you haven't joined the community yet, because guess what's going to happen? That's going to come back and bite me in the ass when I already have it in, because people always buy at the last minute. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to get 2 or 3 sales in 2 minutes. And people are going to be like, where I go, where I watch the videos, did I miss anything? But all of these other people that sign up, where I go, what I do, where the workbook is that you said I was going to get, did I miss anything? And that ends up becoming a headache. So people look at me and they look at what I do with my summits, and they look at the personal touch, and they look at the level of organization. But that is because I take a certain level of ownership for my business. And there are clerical things that I've implemented that I want to pass on to somebody else. See, I need to do it first. And I need somebody else to just have some pizzazz in class that will see my vision, incorporate the things that are important to me, and then also have their own essence in their spirit that says, this is how I can add the wow factor and simplify what you're doing, make it better because this is what they do for a living or whatever. But many of you, what you do is you're like, oh my God, I got all of these people sending me messages and asking for links. See, somebody, and I've had this happen before, was like, I don't have no link. And I'm like, who are you? What's your name? What's your email? Who do you know? Who did you sign to? Sweetie, you never even signed up. People do idiotic things. Am I going to die? No, I'm not. But I have had people in the very beginning try to trip me up, and it doesn't mean that somebody may not try it again. And that's why I tell people, do not share links or put anything out there, because people will act like, excuse me, I didn't get my stuff. And it's like, no, boo boo, because you didn't pay for your ticket. Or they could be like that woman who did eventually go back and have her payment clear, wonder why she's not getting her stuff. It's because, like, yeah, you processed the payment, but your payment didn't clear, so that payment does not count. So your money is being blocked in your disorganization. What I see on PayPal and what I see on Infusionsoft are two different sets of numbers. And it can make me feel like I have more money than I do. So where I see almost 1,000 here and only a little over 700 approaching 800 over there, I could begin to spend money that I do not actually have. If I don't take responsibility and hold out and leave it in reserve for the money that has to be paid out as it's coming to me, why spend the money now when I know that it really truly is not mine? These are the kind of things that you do that lets God say, okay, you're going to honor people, because it doesn't even make a difference if all somebody made was the $7.78. It's just the principle of the point. It's just the principle of the fact that you haven't given me my money. And in the beginning, when it's like 10 speakers, which is still foul, that's $7, that's $70.78 that didn't get paid out if I had 10 speakers and I didn't give them their commission. But as this game gets bigger, what if I had 10 people that got 10 sales apiece? I got 100 tickets. I got over $700. I almost have $1,000 worth of money that I may spend as fuck off money that really isn't even mine to spend in the first place. And so a lot of you despise humble beginnings. You don't really recognize and that I'm looking at, that I created that myself. Somebody might say it could be more sophisticated, look different, or it could have been set up in a different way. It doesn't make a difference. But that's the way I got it set up. And you better believe, so that I know what that overall figure is. I got the total commission payout for the speakers, the total commission payout for I Am My Sister's Keeper. And those are tally. So I've got the total amount of sales, I got the total payout, and then I've got my balance that's left over. And so I know that if I were to decide to transfer that money from PayPal right now, that I need to leave an X amount of dollars in PayPal, because that money has been marked to be paid out to my speakers and to the organization that I'm sponsoring. And so me having this written on a piece of paper, as archaic as it may seem, I have the natural digital backup that's going to happen from the CRM system that I use. I have the spreadsheet that I've made, and I have the paper trail. A lot of you all, you want to play big businesses. You want to know what profit and loss sheets are. You know what I'm saying? You want income statement sheets, all of that stuff. You can't even handle the basics of this little bitty thing right here. And so if you don't handle the basics, you're going to find yourself thinking you have money that you don't, spending money that you don't really have, not being in a position to honor people, having doubled up and overlapping charges and tickets. And that lack of organization will stress you out and it will mess you up. So, take whatever wisdom that you felt that you needed from this. I felt led to share it. Continue to keep moving and growing. For those of you that are watching, if you go to my link, you are welcome to join the community. This, the Authentic Collective is about sisters and women of color having a place where they can go to, where they can thrive and share and learn with one another. It is about having community and real sisterhood. But I gotta excuse me, my brain's a little distracted while I'm putting the link in, with melanin flavor. because many of these social media platforms, they have a Europeanistic style, and they have a lot of censorship, and there is no censorship in the group. There's a high degree of requirement as far as respect for other people is concerned, respecting opinions. We're not robots. We are all entitled to think and share accordingly, but to do so without all of the hangups. Okay. So, anywho, that's it. I hope this blessed you. Don't despise being wherever you are in your business. Just do whatever is comfortable for you so that you could be able to track your success, because that's what puts you in position to hire someone else. And it puts you in position to show that you're worthy to get more. Okay. I'm outie. Bye.